In this video, we're going to walk through the process of us rebranding Digitally Grounded. First, I realized that it was time for a rebrand. I had been adjusting my services, my offers, and also just evolving as a person. And so it was important for me to make sure that my brand reflected that, especially because I'm the face of the business, right? Even though I do have a team that I work with, the majority of the time, I'm the one working directly with the clients, and I'm the one that's reflected on the site. And my previous site didn't do that. So I really wanted to lean into that and just be a little more authentic to myself. I also considered the astrology of my business, because I am into astrology, and wanted to reflect some of those elements in the website as well. So what we started with is I started to build out the design in Figma. I wanted something that was vibrant like my personality, but also professional and a little bit reserved and timeless. So I ended up choosing typography that would be a little more timeless, a little more contemporary. And I wanted to have pops of color, a little more color than what you would expect from your typical trendy minimal website. But I did want to reflect that color because it's important to me. It's important to the brand. It's important to the brand's astrology. So moving on, my lovely content manager, Madison, has created wonderful photos that we've incorporated throughout the new website design. I also wanted to make sure that I was sharing the new offers. So when I first started Digitally Grounded, I was only doing branding and websites. Now we're offering SEO services, and that wasn't reflected in my previous site. So I wanted to make sure it was front and center as soon as you land on the homepage. So then we wanted to also show the work front and center. Over the time that Digitally Grounded has been open, I've had the pleasure of working with so many amazing brands. I wanted to share some of that recent work on my website front and center. Typically, statistics say that the first page that people navigate to obviously is a home page. Then they go to about. But in some cases, when you're in a design field like myself, they want to see the work. They want to know about you, but they also want to see the type of work that you can produce. And so why make them click when we can put it right on the home page? So that was a strategic move for me. Moving on, I also wanted to show a little bit of social proof and give people a clear call to action on the page, which is essential for all websites. And for us, it's signing up for the email list, because that's where we share our newsletter and other insider goodies with our subscribers, things like special offers and things like that. If you're not already signed up, make sure you sign up to the email list at digitallygrounded.co. Moving on, with the About page, I wanted to make sure that I highlighted the team that I work with. We are a woman-owned, fully woman team right now for the most part. We have myself, Madison, and Naomi, and I wanted to make sure that they were highlighted on the website as well. And then finally, case studies were the thing that was really important to me, because I hadn't had extensive case studies on my previous website. And so making sure that I could get down to the nitty-gritty of what we did, what the client's challenge was, and the results that they got after working with us was essential. I really want to make sure that I have a lot of compelling case studies as I add new projects on, and also start to build that trust with someone who hasn't actually met me yet. I want my work and my website to sort of be that first impression. It's so important, because if the website doesn't reflect who you are as a person, when somebody walks up to you at a networking event or something like that, they're going to feel a disconnect, and it's not going to work out. So I really wanted to make sure that that came through. Even with me, I like wearing bright colors and all that. So I wanted to make sure that it was vibrant and also still professional and a little bit elegant. So that is the overview of the new design. If you feel like it's time for a rebrand, please reach out, contact me. I'd love to sit down and have a consultation with you to see if it's actually time for a rebrand. So that's what we did. But what about you? When is it time for you to go ahead and rebrand your business? So let's get into it. First thing is, as I mentioned before, personal and professional values. As your personal and professional values change, especially if you're the face of the business like I am, you want to make sure that your business is evolving with you. Again, keeping that congruency between who you are and how you're projected or reflected out into the world to attract those ideal clients. So making sure that you are evaluating your personal and professional goals and assuring that the services that you provide are aligned with who you are and in your zone of genius is extremely important. And all of that should be reflected on your website. So if it's not currently reflected on your website, it might be time to do a little refresh. The other thing is industry standards and trends. there are a lot of changes that happen all the time in the world of website building, website design, marketing. And so we want to make sure we stay abreast of the latest information, industry trends, and technology. And so if your website looks outdated or doesn't have the automations or things that are going to help refine the process of people coming on to work with you, it might be time for a rebrand or at least a website refresh. One other great thing that I'll mention here is with regard to accessibility. At the time of this recording, there are tax benefits for having an accessible website. And so if your website is not accessible, even just doing that will not only give you a great tax benefit, but also make your website more inclusive and allow more people to be able to access you and your content and connect with you. So that's another really important thing to consider. And then finally, as you are providing your services, you are getting better and better every time. If you're anything like me, every time you do a website, or for me, every time I build a website, anytime you offer that service, you're getting feedback from your clients and you're refining it and you're adding to it, or you're making it more succinct, structuring the process a little bit differently so things can run a bit more seamlessly. So if that sounds like you and your service has evolved, you offer a higher quality service now, it's time to reflect that on your website. So if any of these things sound like you and it's time for you to refresh or rebrand or revamp your website, reach out, contact me, digitallygrounded.co. I'd love to have a consultation with you and kind of talk through some of the changes that you're experiencing and how we can reflect those on your website so you can track more of your amazing ideal clients. If you are on YouTube, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. If you're listening via podcast, please give us a 5-star review and subscribe there as well. And finally, if you're on the digitallygrounded.co website, be sure to scroll below this video to see more information in the blog post. Thanks again. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening and watching, and keep being amazing.